Welcome back to Talk Spicy to Me. I'm Jasmine.
Heather, Brianna.
In this episode, we are talking all about the babies, aka my favorite trope. So, our theme for this month was Hippity Hoppity Babies on the Way. So, first, let's talk about what we're currently reading.
Oh,
So, for me, thanks to Heather, she just kept bragging on and on about this book. I bought it, it was sitting in my audio library like a book hoarder, such as myself do. But I finally started listening to it. Is Ruthless Creatures by JT
Geisinger?
Chester. I'm sorry, I butchered that name, but
I think it's Geisinger.
the book is yeah, it's yeah, but it's so good. It's like it has Troy Duran on the narration, and it's actually two other women too. I cannot think of their names, but
Two?
oh my god, yeah, it's two. It's like three narrators. It's
Is it
like
MFM
No.
or FMF?
Oh, maybe
no,
not so far,
and
but it's definitely.
exactly, and that's why I'm like, okay, this third narrator, what's happening? So we have Troy Duran, Brooke Daniels, and Michelle Sparks, and it is just bomb.com.
It's delicious. He's delicious.
Yes.
I would crawl into the pages. Well, it's not even pages because I'm listening to it on audio. If I could, put myself in my AirPods and have this man just talk dirty, dirty things to me. Woo!
Yes, I was eating and literally choked on my food. Like
I know
they're
exactly what
sitting
part you're
having
talking
dinner.
about.
I do. I have to tell y'all. So they're sitting having dinner, right? This is the kind of man he is. They're sitting having dinner. He was like, "I want to kiss you." She's like, "No, no," and he's like, "Well, come sit in my lap and let me finger fuck you while we eat."
Yeah, it's like, while I feed you dinner, let me finger fuck you.
Just gonna push across the plates, run on over there.
I don't need to eat no more. Fuck this.
Sir, what? And it keeps going like that. Like they're talking about one thing, and he's just like, "This is what I want to do to you. Let's go."
I volunteer as tribute.
So good. So that's my audio. I'm reading a novella called Surrender by Ritzy Adams. Um, it's really good. It's about these two friends who cash in on this two-night dare that they set up back when they were in college. Because now they're both single and it's like light BDSM. I haven't got into that yet. That was just my warning at the beginning of the book by the author. So it's pretty good so far.
It sounds good.
What about y'all?
I'm reading two arcs. Let's see. I wrote this down because I forget.
So ambitious.
Right? She's always reading like multiple books, and I'm like, how are you reading multiple books?
I
Like,
don't even know. I don't even know how I get to work some days, but
Yeah.
Catching Lightning by Kaylee King and Greer Rivers, which comes out April 20th. And then Phase of Fate by Coralie June, which comes out April 21st. Um, Catching Lightning is sports romance, enemies to lovers, sort of dark undertones, and then it's contemporary. And Phase of Fate is Shifter, Werewolf Shifter, Fated Mates. I'm just like, that's my crack.
it really is. Like, that's just like everything you love.
Literally.
Yes. I am also listening to the Ruthless Creatures with Jazz. So that is in my AirPods, and I'm loving every minute of it. I just finished Sins of the Orchid by Eva Winters, and it was Mafia. It was fan effing tastic. I cannot say enough good things about it. It has an age gap. It's best friend's older brother, and it was delicious. I just finished it today, and then I started Havoc by Renee Rocco, which she found me on TikTok and sent me her book, and I literally just started it, so I will have to update you guys. But so far, I'm loving it.
That's awesome. I love how much we're finding for TikTok authors like that are new to us.
So let's talk babies. So, okay, I have lists and recommendations for days, but let's talk about like the different kind of baby books. So we have accidental, we have surprise, we have planned, and we have secret. Heather, I really like the way you described as like what you feel is like accidental, with like the one night stand. I feel like that that fits perfectly because it's like it was only supposed to be one night, but oops, we had an
Now we got
accident.
18 years. Now we got 18 years.
Right. I can't like so I always mix those two up. So I don't have any like off the top of my head as far as like accidental, but
Well, I do.
some like okay, let's hear
So the
yours.
Written Hard by
Kim
yes,
Lorraine?
I
Yes,
have it
because that's on my
right here.
TBR.
Um, that one, it was a woman. I can't remember if she was older or not. I think that she was because she was a newly divorcee, and he was like the playboy of his family. Southern, like they own a ranch. They're, kind of famous for their ranch. And one night stand, beautiful, fantastic marathon sex, like sex that she didn't have for years because her ex-husband was a douche canoe. So
Oh, I love it.
then, 4 weeks later, 6 weeks later, whatever the case is, she finds out she's pregnant, which one of the reasons that she got divorced from her husband was because she couldn't get pregnant and he left her. She shows up on this man's
Wow.
front doorstep with his mama there, pregnant. Loved it.
What?
I fucking loved it. Like, playboy, southern charm, like, all those sweet things when he calls her sugar. Just, like, that
Oh my
southern
goodness.
man charm, you cannot replicate that anywhere.
You can. And it sounds like everything I want. Like, because I heard you, you know, I love my reverse age gap. Like, so I'm like, and a baby, and a southern gentleman. Come on.
The North is missing out. We just have like pretentious douches.
No, yeah, no. The North sucks ass. The North sucks ass. The
I mean,
South,
not all of it, but
they raise them right down south. Those mamas down there, they know what they're doing.
They do. I concur. What about you, Brie? You have any accidental babies
um,
that you can think of?
see, I think we talked about this. Accidental and surprise can kind of be interchangeable
Yeah.
terms, and I'm honestly not certain which one is which. I feel like
That's how
accidental.
I feel too.
Yeah, I feel like accidental was they might have been like a couple, but it wasn't planned. It was like oops. And then
Right.
surprise, I feel like usually falls where they're just like a fling. They obviously want to be more, but they're not. Or maybe it's like a one night stand and they don't even know each other.
Yeah.
Um, but one that comes to mind in general, like one of my favorite surprise unplanned pregnancies, is Until Lily by Aurora Rose Reynolds. Um, so the couple, this is a series, but it can be read as interconnected standalones. The couple, they actually are getting very, very close and, forming this strong relationship. And he had, I guess, gotten somebody pregnant before they had even met, because their relationship was very instant love. And they kind of agreed that, maybe he should be there for this other child. So he
Oh,
left. She found out she was pregnant. He was having this
stop
kid,
it.
and now there was two kids. Like fast forward, it was sort of a second chance. And I didn't ruin anything. That's kind of in the blurb, but
Oh my
it's
gosh.
really good. It's really good.
That is like I love that. Like that's double babies for Chad.
Literally, and the
I
kids
love
grow
it.
up so close because they're literally so close in age.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, let me go and move that to the top, okay?
So good.
That is like right up my alley. Um surprise. So I have a few like well, I have a lot of surprise babies, but the ones that I want to talk about. So Helena Hunting has one, A Kiss for a
Oh
Kiss.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. If you've read oh gosh, what was King's book?
Oh, a lie. No.
How,
A secret for a
oh
secret?
yes, A Secret for a Secret. So King and Queenie, their parents get together in A Kiss for a Kiss and have a baby. So it's like it's all these different family dynamics, and then they're older. So I really like the twist and spin that Helena put on the surprise baby trope. It was really good, and Jake is just like he was already that protective dad, like with Queenie. So then you get to see him like go through the pregnancy with her, and it's so cute and so sweet, and it's just I love like when she gave the little like synopsis for it that it was coming. I was like, oh my god, shut up.
Not.
So that was
I still have to read
so
that.
good.
I read
Oh my
all the
gosh, me
others.
too.
I just haven't read that because that one recently came out, and I had already finished the first three.
Yes, it's so good. And then I have I have the No Regrets trilogy by Lauren Blakely. This one is like it's an older series, but it's still like one of my favorite baby series. They're a little younger. They're like 19, 20, and what's kind of crazy about this story is that they meet at like a meeting for sex addicts, but she's actually not a sex addict. So it's a twist to it, and I was like, oh, well, this is interesting. So it's really cool. But they end up having like a whole surprise pregnancy thing, and there's like family secrets. So it's so good, and it's like angsty. So y'all know I love all the feels and emotions, but it's really good.
Was she
Um,
looking for a partner when she went to this?
so okay, many spoilers. So she she went there like as a way to like kind of redeem herself because she's kind of like okay, so she's writing this whole book right about like her escapades, but they're not really escapades because it's not like sex. It's like she's more so like kind of like a call girl, but it's crazy because she's like super young. So she's like I think she starts like when she's like 18 or 19. And then so she basically is kind of like arm candy, but like what's crazy is that it's her mother's like manager who's like blackmailing her like if you don't do this like because she thought that she had a affair with her husband but it was really her mom who had the affair, so she's doing all this stuff to like save her mom and her
Oh
mom's
my
reputation.
goodness.
it's it's so crazy. I'm actually once I finish Ruthless Creatures, I was just about to listen to it for maybe like the third or fourth time because I'm obsessed, but then I put it on pause to listen to my boy Troy.
You're
But
welcome.
that one has
You're welcome.
I want to say that one has your guy Joe Arden, Heather, on the audio, and it's actually in
20.
the Audible Escape.
Who's the
So
name again?
so it's the No Regrets trilogy. Yes, it has Joe Arden in it. So it's like the start of us, the thrill of it, and every second with you. But it's actually
It
really
could have been the
good.
Chinese dictionary.
Look, exactly, it's Joe.
That man.
So what else?
Well, there
We
was.
also have.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I have like two more surprise babies, but
This
we
is
can
your
talk about
zone.
like
This is all you.
Sure, sure.
literally I could literally talk about babies like all day. So I'm gonna do my other two surprises and then we can talk about like secret and plan. So I have like the Oopsie Daisy by Iris Moreland, and this one is like age gap. He ends up being her professor, but she didn't know. So she went to her sister's wedding in Ireland, and she just had a one night stand, and she lost her virginity all in the same night. She was like, "I'm just trying to get rid of this V card,"
And
and
she
then
got a
comes back to
baby.
the exactly comes back to the states, finds out she's pregnant, goes to school, finds out this guy is not only her professor, but he's also her
Which
advisor.
one is this one?
So
Why? Jesus
this
Christ.
is this is Oopsie Daisy by Iris Moreland. So it had a lot going on because it's like age gap, professor and
You know,
student,
me with
and
all
then
these
one night
professor
stand.
student ones, like my
Yes.
next life, I better have a hot as fuck professor who is going to really
Where were
impress
these
his class.
professors
That is what I want.
when I was in
Bent
school?
over the desk.
Agreed.
I need to find whatever schools. And you know what's happened? Like, I went to Monmouth, and it's funny. Monmouth, when I went to college, was rated like #1 for graduates turning into playmates.
What?
Like house
All
party?
of the fucking professors were dying. They were dead. Like, old as fuck. Like, I went to, my English class was in Daddy Warbucks' like mansion. Like, 'cause that's where Annie was filmed. You would think that there would be some scandal there. Nothing.
No, you need to go to those colleges that don't have any scandals reported because then you know there's no snitches.
Yeah.
'Cause snitches get
Look,
stitched.
they doing something right because ain't nobody finding out what they got going on.
Exactly. They know how to keep a secret.
In my next life, I want to find that hot ass professor.
Same.
Yeah.
I really don't know what I did wrong in this life not to find
Well,
it.
we
but
didn't
you
find
know,
our reverse harems either. So you know what? We're gonna have this.
I guess
Exactly.
I just did college wrong.
obviously.
I've done it wrong. Wait a
My
minute. I
my
did it.
friend says that she was trying to get her APHD, her appropriate husband degree, and I'm like, I got a freaking BS. I'm out.
Worthless piece of paper.
Literally. Oh my god.
That would
Well,
be
now
it.
we got
Oh
a
my gosh.
baby on
Okay.
the list. I got a running tally going. I got it.
I like
Yes.
how though
Okay.
all of your recommendations so far are very different because not that I have assumptions or I do have assumptions and sometimes like sort of judgment about surprise pregnancies, but everything that you said so far is very different from one another because I feel like I've read very
That was
common
what I was
things.
trying to do. Yes, because I feel like, and kind of how we talked about the recipe for one of our other books, was it Mafia? I kind of feel like, kind of all the tropes sort of have like a recipe. So, like you said, it's kind of like safe to sometimes make assumptions because they kind of all follow sometimes like that same track or journey where you can like sense it or you know what's gonna happen. So I do love it, like when there's a twist to it or when they decide to like switch things up on you. So I kind of did that on purpose. I was like, let me find different ones that have different things going
Yes,
on.
exactly.
We have my other surprise is Oops by Alexandra Warren. This one is like workplace, it's enemies to lovers, and I already love enemies to lovers and I love a surprise baby. So when you take those two and put it together, I'm like, yes. So we have that one. And then now let's talk about like Secret Baby. So of course Secret Baby is like the hero doesn't know. So I have so many of these. Now, okay. So Secret, and we talked about this before. I love all my babies, but sometimes I'm like, I like surprise over Secret because with the surprise, you usually get to go through like the journey with the couple. Like from when they're finding out that they're pregnant, and then seeing how the heroine reacts, seeing how the guy reacts, and then seeing how they're gonna navigate it together. So I kind of like that aspect of it. As where with Secret, it's usually like, okay, we're gonna get together this one night or something like that, and then they never see each other again, or it's just something that like splits them up, and then she finds out, but he's still living his life. It may be like a time gap, and then he sees her, and sometimes I can't think of one off the top of my head where he sees her and she's pregnant. It's usually like he sees her and it's like, oh wait, she has a kid with her.
I have one.
Oh, tell me if I can put it down.
Uh, it's oh my gosh. Oh, Sincerely the Puck Bunny by Marin Moore. So first of all, Marin Moore writes all the DILFs. Like, just read
Let me
her.
go
All
ahead and
the
write
all the
that
surprise
down.
babies. Of different ways. But Sincerely Puck Bunny.
What was that title again?
Sincerely the Puck Bunny. Um, they have like a fling, and then like it fast forwards a little bit, and she had already found out that she was pregnant, and I like this is what I like about surprise pregnancies sometimes, or secret ones. So she had found out that she was pregnant and did attempt to contact him, but somebody in his life didn't want them to be a thing. So he never knew. So when he saw her like 8 to 9 months pregnant, he was like, "Whose is that?"
Oh my
You look
gosh.
different. There's something that I just can't put my finger on it, but you look extra.
Fuller.
More than you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that one
I
is
love
really
it.
good because immediately he was like, "They're mine," or like as in the person and the baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Or are you trying to tell me that she's having twins and that slipped out?
Not in that book. Wink, wink.
But you said they, and I was like, they're mine. I was like, wait a
Not
minute,
in
Bree, is
that
it
book.
two babies?
Wink, wink.
Okay, okay. Let me find out. Okay, what about you,
Oh
Heather?
yeah, go ahead.
I want to talk about Cade. It's Broken King by Bella Matthews.
Yes.
MMA. Just, he is divine. He is a divine human being with muscles on muscles, and he can kick somebody's ass and pound her into the mattress. It was fabulous.
Or couch, or table.
Or wherever the,
Yes.
it wasn't even a flat
Any
surface. It was
surface.
bumpy surfaces. It was just air everywhere.
Anywhere and everywhere. I loved how he like he just knew kind of like how to handle her. He was like, okay, I'm gonna step back some, but I'm not stepping all the way off. Like, we gonna finish this. We gonna talk about this.
Right.
Like, how usually people were like calling her like, ice queen. Like, okay, well, I'm just gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna. He's like, no, we gonna talk about this. It don't gotta be now, but we gonna talk
I
about it
loved how he
later.
called her
So
Duchess. I love how, like, it was kind of second chance, like, yes, second chance.
yeah, I would definitely give it
Yeah,
that.
But
it is second chance.
Yeah.
I loved everything about their story, and Cade was phenomenal. But I like how he also stepped up to the plate. Like, he never at any point, made her feel like, oh, what are we gonna do? It was like he already
Right.
was a dad, so like he
Yeah.
already knew,
Exactly.
and it was just phenomenal the way that he handled everything, and I just loved their story.
Yeah.
He was also like very respectful of her too because, you know,
Yes.
obviously she had some reservations about being with somebody in that way and being a mom.
Right.
But he just like wormed his way in and he was like, listen, I am here. I have made my intentions clear, but I'm still going to respect you. And when you catch up and catch
Yes.
on to me, I'm here. And I
Yeah,
love
when you
that.
figure it out.
Yeah, give me
I
a
love that.
call.
That was so sweet. Yeah, Bella did amazing with that.
Right? You
No,
got
I
my
loved
book.
it. So I have a question. What is it that you hear that people don't like about baby books?
So I've heard. Okay, so one thing I've heard is like I think it's like the failed contraception, like how
Or
that
lack
ends up
thereof?
being like yes, how that ends up being like the thing, like oh this birth control failed and now I'm pregnant. Like people sometimes get like annoyed by that. But Bree, it kind of reminds me of your TikTok you made where it's like it's only 97%. So it's like everybody is falling within that like 2 or 3%. So that's like one of the things I hear. And then you have some people who honestly like they just don't like babies like in their books. So I feel like sometimes that'll automatically turn people off from even just wanting to read it because we all have our preferences. So like how it sends me just running. Some people are just like I've seen reviews where they're like, ugh, this was surprise baby. I hate babies. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't read
They
it.
hate
So some people
babies.
just don't. Some people just don't want babies in their romance book. Period. Like it's not even anything specific. They just like I don't want to see no babies in my
I love it though. Like, I feel like it's great at the end of the story. Like, they get their happily ever after, and then, they get their family. I mean, it doesn't always have to be that way, but when it's written just the
yeah.
right way, like, babies in any
Mhm.
type of form are great at the end. But when they're in the beginning, or like a surprise or planned or whatever the case is, when it's done well, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think also with any book, the development and the progress of the book, it depends because if I'm reading a series that's maybe a
Yes.
trilogy or more books, I want to see some progression. So if they are together, then they got married and they plan to have kids, I want to see that because that's also a new
Right.
issue or a new
It's
uh
like obstacle they
yes,
have to
thank you. I
tackle.
can't words. But yeah, a new obstacle for them
I
to
got you.
tackle and it gives more into their relationship. There was this series that I read by Kimberly Knight, and it was like heavy, heavy smut, but it was really, really good. I think it's 3 books, and the first book is working on them being a couple. Second book is marriage, and third book is dealing together as a married couple and like things they overcome. And it was like real issues in their marriage.
I like that. What's
Yeah.
that series? Look at me.
That's a good question.
Give me now. Give me, give me.
Look, let me know. Look,
come
when you
come
look on
back
your
to me.
shelf and
Come
see
back
it,
to me.
like you're gonna look on your shelf and see it later and be like, "Let me know, I found it."
I'll look it up.
But I think going back to what you said, Heather, about it being in the happily ever after, I like that because sometimes what'll happen is we'll go through and we'll see the couple, like Bree said, we kind of see like their evolution. If they started off as like enemies or friends, just however they started off. If they did start off as a couple, the book will mostly be about like their journey to like coupledom. So then the happily ever after like kind of gives you a peek into their future as like being that full on like couple, they're involved. And then if they have the kids, we get to see like, oh, how they look as parents. So I do like that aspect of having them in the happily ever after too, as far as the kids. Um, there is another baby book
I found the title.
as far as like what was it?
um, So,
Before you
yeah,
forget.
the first book is Where I Need to Be by Kimberly Knight, and it's when I read it, it was part of the B and S, the two letters B and S series, but now I guess it's part of the Club 24 series, which kind of makes sense because there's a club involved, and more people in the series. Um, but they're quick; they're very quick reads, and I really liked how much I was still getting out of it.
Okay, cool. Well, I have that written down. Okay, one more we'll talk about because then we got to talk about some exciting stuff that you two ladies had going on this weekend. So we have the planned baby. And this one I don't see it a lot. The one that comes to the top of my head is the Knocked Up Plan by Lauren Blakely, which I just finished a re-listen to today actually before I started Ruthless Creatures. And they're like 30s workplace. It starts off where she's just like, hey, I don't want anything from you, just your sperm to make a baby because I think all your attributes, everything about you will help make this perfect baby for me. That's all I want.
Very
Of
planned.
course, they end up exactly. So of course they end up like falling in love because he's like, I don't just want to go to a sperm bank. Like I want to do this the traditional way.
Okay.
So I got I got plans for you. I have these thoughts I've been having about you. Let's make them a reality and let's make a baby like that. So that's what happens. She gets pregnant, but then those feelings start developing because he checks in on her. Like she has like really bad morning sickness, so he like goes and takes her like care packages. So they end up like falling in love, and it's really cute. It's a quick like listen or read. It's Andy Arndt and Sebastian York. So I love those two, so it's really good. But I like that it was planned because I don't read a lot of planned books, so I kind of like finding those. They're kind of like diamonds in the rough for me. Do y'all have any like planned pregnancy wrecks?
I feel like it kind of goes back to the epilogues. I feel like most of
Yeah,
my plannedness is by the time everything is said and done, the epilogue of the last couple chapters, it's like, let's have a baby. You want that with me? And then,
yeah.
like, the epilogue, don't spit.
Oh yeah, where he's like, marry me, have my babies, and then the epilogue is like, we're married with babies.
Yeah, so I feel like that's probably my extent. I mean, some of the surprise ones where it's not a secret. It's more of like they just found out and told their significant other that they were pregnant. Some of them are
Right.
like, it's not an issue. I wanted it anyway. Like, um,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and that's not really planned, but it's not surprise at that point because, like you
Yeah.
said, they were feeling nauseous or whatever. Sometimes the reader knows before the hero or the
Exactly.
heroine that they are pregnant. Um, and I feel
Right.
like that might be where that stereotype get like comes in. But I don't know.
Exactly.
I kind of like those cues sometimes if they're not overplayed because I'm like,
Yeah.
are they pregnant? Should they be drinking that drink right now?
Right. Yeah, because there are some where you read it and you literally do not see it coming. And you're like, oh snap, okay.
Well, I feel
But
like.
that's kind of
Go ahead.
oh, I think I was like, that's more so Secret Baby though, too.
Yeah,
That kind of plays a part.
I feel like sometimes the younger characters, and I have nothing against younger characters having kids because like I am a an example of teen pregnancy. Like I was born while my parents were teenagers. Um, I feel like sometimes as like the teenagers or younger main characters getting pregnant, I feel like those are not always planned, like are always not planned. You know?
Right. They are. They're definitely always like surprised.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I wasn't expecting you.
And maybe those are like a little bit different because their obstacle is like how are we going to proceed? Their obstacle's a little different.
Exactly. Right. It's definitely different depending on like where the age follows, like you said, because they're gonna react to it differently, especially just depending on where they are in like their relationship too.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good point. Okay, y'all. These two lucky ladies here had a very exciting weekend. Y'all,
Yeah, we
tell
didn't
everybody what y'all
have
did this weekend.
we didn't have an episode last week because we were busy.
We were not around. We were not around. We went to Massachusetts for the Talk Books author event. Talk Books author event. Yes. Um, and we got to meet so many cool people and hang out with all of the authors and fangirl. Allie gave me an energy drink. I was bouncing off the walls. It was
She was. She was.
There's a video that Bree has of me just standing online and this.
Yeah.
I could have
Look
done
at my
cartwheels in the
TikTok.
hallway.
We were pretty close, though. You know, honestly, at some points I was like, how are we not kicked out of this hotel?
Yeah, no.
It looked
We were
like
dancing
a
down the
fun
hallway,
weekend.
making TikToks down the hallway. We did TikToks out of the bathtub. And everybody thought that I was
in the bathtub.
In the bathtub. We were inside
Yeah.
the bathtub. But I told everybody, I was like, we're going to do a TikTok if you want in. Like, we're going to do this.
And when you said that, I was trying to picture in my mind, okay, they're gonna do them in the bathtub. I really cannot wait to see how this is gonna play
And
out.
it was so funny because
Clothes were on.
every year, like,
I really honestly didn't know where it was gonna go.
Drugs,
Okay?
alcohol.
Even shoes were on.
Yeah, like our shoes were on. We had sunglasses and mini ears. It was fantastic. But everybody was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, you will see. The masterpiece that is the random shit in my head is going to come out, and it is just going to be here. And then we danced, and we were doing fabulous things. We were at the bar, like, we had a
I was
great
very
time.
jealous.
I was just like,
I was very jealous.
Heather was like, we're going to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay. Like,
Let's go.
whatever you say.
Tell me what to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. We had, we hung out with, so Heather was there to help as an assistant to Allie says, and I ended up helping Bella Matthews and somewhat Allie, and we got to hang out with Sarah Kate, Rachel Lee, A.M. Johnson, who else am I forgetting? We saw Penelope Douglas. That was really cool. We visited her table. Yeah, I was going to say like 6 times. Nyla Kay.
Lily Valenti, Willow Winters was there, and Robinson was there. We didn't even get to the big room really because we were in the smaller room with all of the people we just named.
Abby Glines.
Oh, they had it like separated?
They had
like,
2 different rooms.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I took pictures with some book cover models. They were very, very nice.
They were jumpable.
Heather, I haven't seen those pictures. I feel a certain way.
They were jumpable.
I got his signature. Because he kept staring at me the entire day. And I went over there to have the author that they were sitting with sign mine and Allie's boards. And he just kept looking at me, and it was like standing next to me. And the author's like, go ahead. Go ahead. Like, do I have to apologize? Like, what happened? And she's like, he's been looking at your tattoo all day. And I'm like, honey, we just got here like 2 hours ago. Like, what are we talking? But literally, like,
Oh my
by
God.
the end of the day, I was like, guys, don't go anywhere because I want a picture. Like, I told my husband too. I was like, I would have climbed this man like a tree.
And you know, for anyone who has not been to an author signing or a book event, they're a lot of fun. If you are ever hesitant, just go. It doesn't even matter how big or how small those signings are. Actually, for your first signing, maybe you shouldn't attempt a gigantic signing because it can be overwhelming. I was talking to Penelope Black the other night. She was asking for reader tips and like, you know, what to bring or what to do. So it can definitely be overwhelming. You know, thankfully most of these authors have been there or been to signings before, so they're very welcoming, and you literally can go up to their table, ask about anything. They usually have free swag. It's just a lot of
They're
fun.
always so nice.
Yeah.
I feel like also for me, it's also fun going with friends because I've only been to one, and that was Indies at Philly, and like I went with y'all. And granted, both of y'all were working. I kind of worked a little bit.
Oh, you worked.
But
You worked.
You worked it. You worked it.
look at this. I tried, but it was really fun going with friends. Like I really couldn't imagine going like by my like I would go by myself, but I had a lot of fun going with y'all because we had fun like outside of the signing too. Like
We bring
so
the
I think
fun.
I would recommend that. Bring a friend.
We bring
Well,
the
if you
fun.
can.
And it's so weird
Yeah.
because getting recognized for your social media platforms totally takes you back. But then having people say like they want in on our like fun, because not all, you know, signing experiences are like that.
Yeah.
I'm a crazy person. So,
No, no.
so
You know what you are, but I love
but
it.
it's like the life
Right.
of the party. We're gonna have a good time. You're gonna come see us, hang out, come say hi. We're going to have some fuckery because it's going to be had. And we're gonna have a good
Exactly.
time. There was not a moment at all where we were not laughing, joking, telling weird stories. I saved some woman from falling asleep in the foyer. Like picked her up and they got her back to her room because she was
Was she
oh
drunk?
she was seeing Jesus. She was
Oh
seeing
Lord.
Jesus. That's how far gone she was. She fell asleep in the garden, and then we got her back
Stop it.
upstairs. But like, it's
No.
just stuff that you can't just like
Free
no.
space.
No comment.
Free space.
But fun times had by all. I absolutely, 10 out of 10 stars recommend book signings. It is a great way to meet book friends, authors, and just realize that these are your people.
Literally,
Yes.
the vibe and the environment when you walk in, it can be overwhelming, but like if you're waiting in line with people in front and behind you for that same author, that means you have something in common with them, like
Yes. And
it's
you're
so
probably
exciting.
gonna talk to them.
Yeah. Um
I feel like at Indies in Philly, I talked to somebody in every line I was in because, like you said, Bree, y'all already have this common thing with setting it with this author. So it's like, hey, which book of hers do you like? Or literally just something random, like Heather with your tattoo, like that was like your thing, that epicness that is your tattoo. But like at Indies in Philly, people really liked my outfit, so I would go up to the table
well, it
and
was
like
the
they would be like, oh,
girls.
I, it was and what's crazy is I was like, let me try to hide them. Like, let me pull up, a shirt that don't really show cleavage, but it's like I can't even hide
Well,
them.
you
Like,
had
even
the
in the
word
fitted
books
shirts, it was
across
like
your boob with the
The
O's right in the center.
it was supposed to say bookish, but like graphic tees are not my friend.
it
Okay,
had
even
two
though I
O's
like
before you put it on and 8 when you put it on.
Damn.
I'm not even
well,
kidding.
I'm unforgettable. At least I left my mark. I was
Oh yeah.
unforgettable.
Yeah, and we
Nobody
had
was
masks on. You were unforgettable, right?
They knew you. But that's the
Oh my
cool
god.
thing. Like, being able
Yes,
to be recognized. Like, it's so awesome to be able to
Well,
find
it is.
friends and recognize people that you follow on Instagram or TikTok or,
Yes,
podcasts. Like, these people that you talk on social media platforms with become your friends.
exactly.
Like, how we
And then
all
you get to
became
meet them in
friends.
person, and it's like you said, Heather. They go like, oh, we've been talking on TikTok or Instagram, and it's like now you meet in person, so you get to put like the face with the
Yes,
person.
you
So
slide into those
online, so it's
DMs.
really cool.
well, it's also funny because you guys had said you would do it with friends. So Philly was the first friend planned signing that I had done. I did go to a signing with a friend who was actually my aunt's friend, so it was very nice. But before, I had never actually gone to signings with friends or plans. I would go to local signings for the day and then come home. I've been to like quite a few signings, but the Philly one and the Massachusetts one are literally my most memorable ones because of the friends and the activities that we did before and after the event. Like honestly planning it and making like a weekend or girls trip out of it,
Yeah.
like doing
Yes,
masks at night and going out to dinner and
it's
bathtub
so fun, and
TikToks. Yeah,
yes,
it's
Absolutely.
just memorable.
It's 100%
yeah,
worth it
that's what makes it fun.
to go with friends, find friends there. 1000% the best memories ever. So,
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, we need to have
Well,
TikToks with Jazz soon, so I'm hoping that
yeah,
she
oh
comes
my
to
god,
us.
yes. Look,
definitely. Well, all right, guys.
y'all need to come on down south.
We could do that too.
Yeah.
So, it was great talking to you. See you guys next week.
Bye.
See you later.